Hi everyone, today I'm going to go over how to complete the design styles portfolio. I'm going to demo how to copy pages and fix some problems that we've been running into in InDesign. So here is the example of what we're going to be doing. For the assignment, it does say to add to your current portfolio, which should be your cover page, which we have here, and it should also be your personal aesthetic page as well. So to start, we need to create our title page. Since the title page for our design styles portfolio is going to be almost exactly the same as this, we can actually really easily copy this page by going over to our Pages tab right here. If this doesn't show up for you, always go to Window and then make sure Pages is checked. So I'm going to copy this page right here. There's multiple ways to do this. You could right-click and say, duplicate spread, so then it duplicates that page. The other option is to click on this page and drag it to the new page icon. So you can see it copied that to my third page. So according to the rubric, my title needs to be Interior Design Styles, I believe. But make sure you're going according to the rubric, even if I say something different in this demo. Okay, I can press W. Sorry, I have to go to my selection tool. Press W. I like the format of that. I might move my name down just a little bit. Okay, so now I need to create this page here. So let's format it first by creating all of our frames, type boxes, and so on. And then we can just duplicate that page over and over again for the rest of our design styles. So I'm going to go over to my Pages menu, New Page, and we're going to create our frames first. So you go over here to the rectangle frame tool, and we're not going to start all the way in the corner because we're not doing this type of format. We're doing this format here. So I'm going to start maybe a little bit in from the edge of the margin and drag over and still about 3/4 of the way down the page. And then use my right arrow key once, my up arrow key twice. And now you can see those 6 frames. Okay, so I want to make them just a little bit shorter. Great. Now they're all still selected. If they're not selected, you can start by clicking outside the margin and just drag a box around them. That selects all of them. Or you can also do Control A. That selects everything on your page. And I want to make sure this is centered. So I'm going to move this around until I see that pink line show up in the center of my page. So that pink line right there is my center vertical margin. And now I know this is centered on the page, so I can let go. Okay, I'm not going to add in my images just yet because I'm going to make this just a format page or just kind of a layout page, and then we can add in all of that stuff later. So according to the rubric, you have 3 different categories. You have chairs, you have accessories, and you have lighting, as you can see here. So we're going to make these labels here. How I do this is I draw a text box, about that size maybe, and I'm going to change my font. So this is going to be the font for my labels, so you want to keep it consistent. So whatever font you choose for your description and labels should kind of be the same throughout your entire portfolio. I'm going to center the text, and I think like 16 for me was a good size. It might be different for you guys. So our first label is going to be lighting. I'm going to copy this. You can right click and copy and then paste, or you can Control C, Control V, and then paste that. So it pasted that for me. So my other categories, I have accessories and I have chairs. Okay, so I need to rotate these because see how these appear over here on the side. So I'm going to click on this and a little arrow, kind of curved arrow, pops up, and I'm going to drag this until I get to 90 degrees. Okay, the other option, you can click on your frame or your type box And up here, it looks like a little kind of angle. It says rotation angle if I hover over this. And you can use the drop-down menu and change it to 90. Okay, I personally think it's faster to just click and drag, but it's up to you. Okay, now we're ready to put these over here on this side. I'm going to drag this over here and look for these green lines to show up. So see that green line that appears there in the center of both of the frames? That is my line that shows it's centered. So I'm going to let go. Now for the next one, I'm going to make sure it's centered within my frames. Okay, but also centered with the text box that says lighting. So you see all those green lines that show up? That shows me that it's all lined up together. Same thing with chairs. So I have my lines that are for the text box, and I also have my line for the frames. And I'm gonna let go. Okay, so now that is all set up. Now I need to add my text boxes in for my title and also for my description. So I'm going to draw out my text box for my title, center it, change the font to my title font. Remember, you want to keep it consistent throughout the portfolio. And the title should be the largest font on the page. So you guys are going to put in whatever the design style is. This is just an example page for me. So I'm going to put design style example. You guys will put American country or Art Deco or whatever it is. Move that down a little bit to give it some space to breathe in between the frames. And now I need to add in my text box for my descriptions. I'm going to change the text to my description or label font. I'm going to change the size of the font, and then I'm going to center this also. Something that you might want to do is make sure that you have the hyphenate option turned off so none of our words get split in between the lines. So if I go up to Window and choose Type in Tables and then Paragraph, there's a little check mark right here that says hyphenate. We're going to unclick that. So now when I go in to put in my description here, or my definition, it won't be hyphenated. Now remember, your definition or description, you've already typed this and you turned it into Student View and you saved that Word document. So you can go back into that Word document with your definitions, highlight your definition and paste it here. And the nice thing about that is that Word has already spell checked this for you and made sure it's grammatically correct. So all you have to do is just copy and paste, change the font, change the size, center it, and make sure it's not hyphenated. Okay, so now we have our definition in there. Mine is not a definition, it's just a description of what you guys would do. And now we're ready to copy this page over and over again until we have, I think there's 10 design styles, 9 or 10 that we're going to go over. So I'm going to, you can right click and say duplicate spread, or you can click and drag this down. And so since I have 2 pages selected, and I drag this down to the new page, then it creates those 2 pages. I can also click on one and just drag it down, so if I need just an odd number of pages, but you get the general idea. And from here you can add in you can change the title, you can add in different descriptions, and then also add in your images once you've collected all of those. So now let's say I'm totally done with this and I'm ready to export it. Then I would do my instructions saying File, Export, make sure you name this whatever it needs to be named, and change the file type to Adobe PDF Interactive. You will press Save, and then you would click Export. If you were not ready to export this and you want to keep working on it, think of it just as a Word document. So you're going to do File Save As or File Save if you've saved this previously. That way you can come back and work on this later. If you don't save this and need to come back and work on it later, you're going to have to start all over again. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this demo and have a great day.